大丈夫か？怪我をしてるのか？今助けに行く。
いや、もう遅いぜ。私さ、もう死んでるんだと。バトラーが来た時には、私は頭を半分ぶちまけた死体だよ。
クソじじいめ。待てろ、今そこに行くからな。
聞けよバトラー。いいか、よく聞け。幸田さんたちがどうして食堂で6人が殺された時のこと、歯切れが悪いのかよくわかった。
Okay. Why is that?
あいつらな、人間じゃねえんだぜ。
Okay, well that can be taken in more ways than one, Jessica.
何を言ってんだ。
言っちまったんだ。仕方ねえだろ。あいつらさ、ワープしたりバリア張ったりやりたい放題だぜ。どこの漫画だよ、アニメだよ。いや、マジでかなわねえぜ。最初からさ、戦うとか無理なんだよ。バトラーが自慢してた棒仕掛けの槍程度でとてもどうにかなる相手じゃねえぜ。
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's forehead.
ジョージ兄さんもダメだった。ありゃ即死だ。次のテストはバトラだな。お前のテストも私たちと同じになるのかな。用心しろよ。そして間違えるな。
テストか？
違う。敵はどうせ人間だと間違えるなよ。敵は人間じゃない。恐ろしい魔法を自在に扱える悪魔なんだ。そこを絶対に間違えるんじゃねえぜ。用心しろよ。
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's mouth as well. The left half of her head started hurting. Jessica realized that she was about to return to the corpse she had been.
13人死ねば黄金の魔女が蘇る。母さんたちが殺されて6人。これで第1の番。そして私とジョージ兄さんが死んで第2の番。あと5人殺されれば儀式は完成で魔女が蘇るってわけだ。父さんたち無事だといいな。もし無事じゃなかったらお前をテストするのは復活したてのベアトリーチェ自身ってことになるかもしれねえぜ。
By now, Beller had no idea what Jessica was saying. In Magic Claim, I can see this as being true, of course, but in Human Claim, oh, nice try. This could very well be a trick on Beatrice's part. You are trying to fool me into thinking that Beller actually heard Jessica say that they were demons. That was just Jessica's perspective, which was a magic claim. Like we heard Jessica's explanation from her room, with Bella on the phone. If I were to listen to Jessica's explanation from this side, from where Bella is in the guest house, with Jessica on the other end of the receiver, then we would have heard a completely different explanation. A human claim explanation. It very well can be that the perspectives over here, like they are switching from Bella to Jessica, and we're switching from magic world to human world. That, or you're lying to us, Jessica. You're lying to us about demons existing because you were forced by Beatrice to say that to Bella. It could be either or, so, From her tone, he realized that she knew she was about to die. So even though he didn't understand the situation, he urged her to hang on in there. Bella's sorrowful voice could be heard from the dangling receiver. Crouching with her back against the adjacent wall, Jessica's head was half smashed. Kiria stuck her face out of the well, and then Crow showed himself to him. When he noticed that they could see the back of the mansion beyond the grove of trees, Kraus realized more or less where they were. To think that there had been a hidden underground passage in a well all the way out here, and that it led to a hidden mansion.
老体にはやはりこれは辛いですな。普段は別の場所からちゃんと階段で上がれるのです。鍵さえ開けば。南條先生には後でいろいろとここの構造についてお教え願いたいものだ。シャノン、大丈夫かな？捕まりたまえ。
大丈夫です。カノン君、早く。
Kanon was the last, climbing up the ladder towards them in the shaft, disguised as well. It was probably quite deep. When he looked down for the first time, he realized how far he had come up.
にひ、射撃。
Bam! As Kanon was about to finally crawl out of the well, a hole the size of a basketball opened up in his chest. Oh boy. Oh. Time for hell to unleash. Everyone there looked through a hole in Kanon's chest to see the scenery beyond. Kanon toppled backwards and was swallowed up into the depths of the well.
みんな逃げて！シスト姉妹、捕捉されてます。回避できない。走って！一人でも生き残って！
At that time, Kraus, Kirie, and Nanjo clearly saw a golden curve appear from the well and sew itself through the side of Shannon's head.
Shannon!
A head pierced. The three were perfect witnesses to everything, up to and including the opposite side of her head being blasted away into pulp. Shannon fell to her knees, blood gushing from both sides of her head.
私たちは狙われてる。走って、殺されるわよ。
走れ走れ走れ走れ。
Nanjo had become paralyzed in fright by the manner of Shano's death, and the Chister sisters would not miss their chance. A curve again appeared from the well, and pierced through Nanjo's forehead and out the back of his head in an instant, sewing through him. Thump. And so Nanjo expired.
何なんだ、どうしてなんだ、敵はどこから。
狙撃されてるのよ。どこか知らないけど私たちを完全に捉えてる。屋敷へ逃げ込むのよ。視界を遮るのよ。
The two dashed into the back entrance of the mansion. Then, the instant Carlos tried to shut the door behind him, a golden curve appeared from the fourth time, piercing Carlos from the back of his head out through his forehead, and smashing him in his forehead to pieces. Klaus's body lurched over, fell down hard, and drew a neat radial pattern with the rim sides of his head. Kidera ran wildly through the hallway, flew into some room, and locked the door. But she couldn't imagine for a moment that this would save her life. She'd probably die soon. This was apparently one of the guest rooms. At that moment, a phone on a side table caught Kiria's eyes. Okay, good. She can call Ballard as well. After hanging up the call from Jessica, Ballard was literally just about to dash out. In an instant, the phone rang again.
もしもし。キリエさん。
はい、バトラ君。ラッキーだったわ。なんとか力を脱出できたの。
Okay, well, you ain't got time, Kiria. You have to tell Ballard what happened. Like, we need clues.
本当についてた。
そこはどこだ。みんな無事なのかよ。こっちはジェシカとジョージの兄貴がどうやら。
聞いて。私の命は多分もう長くは持たないわ。
Then, right after she got the sudden feeling that the keyhole of the locked room might have glow gold. A gold curved line drawing a helix. No, a golden swing thread infiltrated the room through there at an incredible speed and bored a hole into the floor by Kiria's feet. Oh, that's fair. The enemy who had sniped the other four one after another with extraordinary skill apparently really does have trouble shooting me between the eyes with a single shot while I'm holed up in this room. But the next strike will probably hit. This can be intentional. Beatrice wants us to hear what Kitty is about to say, like they're delaying it for a reason, for a special reason. I mean, you're telling me that the Chister sisters have such poor aim, like right now, as she's talking to us? At this point, Kirie finally remembered the initial massacre in the dining hall. And that's right. This is what killed Rodolphe and the rest. All 6 of them.
聞いて、バトラ君。私が見たことをありのまま話す。バトラ君はきっと私の頭がどうにかなってしまったんだろうと思うに違いない。ええ、思ってくれていいわ。私だって何を見たのか未だに整理がつかない。今日バトラ君たちがゲストハウスに帰ってから食堂で親族会議が始まって、そして何が起こったかを全て話すわ。口を挟まないで最後まで聞いて。途中で急に電話が切れるかもしれない。そしたらその時は私が殺された時よ。
キリエさん。
And then Kiria spoke about how Kenzo had come. The family conference had started. The 6 had been killed, and the 5 of them had been confined. About how she had escaped somehow, and made it to where she was now, and how everyone had finally been killed. All spoken dispassionately, as she had seen it, with no dramatization. She even spoke about how everyone except her had been killed, and how she had observed the moments of all their deaths, and how even this very moment, someone was trying to kill her.
実はこの話をしている間にももう3度攻撃を受けている。鍵穴からおかしな黄金の糸みたいなのが飛び込んできて、くるくる回りながら私を狙ってくるの。最初は足元、次は肩の近く、さっきのは耳をかすったわ。狙いがだんだん正確になってくる。そろそろ私の眉間にズドンと来そうね。
逃げろ、キリエさん。逃げてくれ。
どこへよ。私ここまで逃げ延びてきて部屋に閉じこもって鍵までかけてるのよ。それでもなお狙われてる私がどこに隠れるのよ。ねえ。
さあ。
ねえバトラ君、ジェシカちゃんとジョージ君まだ生きてる？
さっきジェシカから電話が。なんかダメみたいだった。
やっぱり私たち5人が次々殺される時、何か予感していたの。ひょっとして13人殺しの儀式は第2の番を終えて私たちの番にまで至ったのかなって。つまり私が死ねば13人、これで儀式は完成。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが復活する。一体どういうことになるのかしら。こんな悪魔だらけの魔女だらけ、ヤギの化け物がうじゃうじゃいるこの島に、さらにそいつらの親玉である黄金の魔女まで現れて、一体どうなっちゃうというのかしら。もう私には何が何だかわからない。
Kiria-san's voice had given up completely on her own life. And because Beller could tell that, he couldn't stop the tears.
一つだけ助言できることがあったわ。
何？
もしあなたの前に悪魔やら魔女が現れても、
ああ。
その正体を疑う必要は何もないわ。そういうものだと理解して。
This is Badler's perspective. He heard Kirie talk about demons like right here, and goat monsters. So I guess this isn't about switching perspectives and switching from human role to magic role and vice versa. What we hear from Jessica and Kirie is what Beller is hearing as well. And they are basically the same. Which means that either Kirie and Jessica are forced to lie about this, or, well, the magic claim is reaching even Beller here. Meaning that my theory about Beller's magic resistance perspective, it might actually be wrong. But if they are both lying, if both Jessica and Kirie are lying about this, then why do it? What could be the human claim explanation for all this, I wonder?
何か仕掛けがあるはずだとか、正体があるはずだとか、そんなことを考える余裕があったら、相手の機嫌を損ねないことを考えた方が よっぽどに建設的。間違ってもなら魔法を見せてみろなんて言っちゃダメよ。その証拠を彼らはこの上なく残酷な方法で見せるでしょうから。
信じらんねえよ。キネさんの口からそんなこと言われるなんて信じらんねえよ。
分かってる。
Why do I get the feeling that you have been told to say that specifically? Or you yourself, Kiri, are trying to convince Beller of the existence of magic for whatever reason it is. I still don't understand for what reason this is happening in Human Claim, but I can see that this is a tactic in trying to lower Baller's magic resistance. Thus, soon enough, he's gonna be able to see magic too, because of Kiri and Jessica. He's gonna start believing that magic actually exists because of Kiri and Jessica. Thus, his magic resistance is gonna lower, and he's gonna be able to see magic as well. In which case, the Human Claim perspective is gonna go away at that point. Like, this could be Beatrice's tactic to try and fool me in that case. I mean, the way Kirie phrased all this, it just feels too forced in my eyes.
信じられないのはだからそれこそが私にできる助言。信じて。
ペアとリーチェと悪魔と魔女と化け物どもを信じろと。
私たちは多分あれほどまでにこの世ならざるものをありありと見せつけられても多分何も信じることができなかったと思うの。今の私もそう。さっきから襲ってきて私の額を撃ち抜こうとする者の正体さえ私には理解できず信じられない。だからあなただけは信じ理解して私たちに受け止めきれなかった存在を受け止めてほしいの。そうしてくれたなら私たちの死は無駄にならない。私もこうして電話をした甲斐があったというものだわ。
キリさん
まだ大丈夫よ。かすったけどまた外したわ。さすがに今度はもうダメかもね。ありがとう。そしてさよならバトラ君。あなたのことアスムさんの息子だからと冷たくしたこともあったの。その日のことを許して。
許すも何も今はキリエさんが俺にとっての母親だろうが。
I felt as though I heard an incredible sound at the other end of this receiver. And then, a noisy clattering sound. As though the receiver had fallen to the floor.
キリエさんキリエさん
Kirie-san never responded for the phone again. She said that if we believed in the existence of the witch, then their deaths wouldn't be in vain. That really does sound like a trick to me, if this is where we're going. Not to mention this detail that I noticed about this whole ordeal with Jessica and Kirie. They both talked about the existence of Beatrice, the Golden Witch, as if she was the leader of these demons and witches and all. And yet, for all this discussion over here, we haven't heard one mention of Kinzo from both of them. At least, from what I have seen. It's almost as if they were trying, like Beatrice is trying to make us believe that she exists. So instead of them talking about Kenzo, they are being forced to talk about Beatrice existing. Even though Kirie and Jessica have never interacted with Beatrice in this game at the very least. Only with Kenzo. Like, I seriously don't know what truly made Kirie say such things. Like, either she had a reason or she has been forced. Either way, I'm not gonna take this at face value. Either Kirie tricked us and has an ulterior motive, and... heck, maybe she is even still alive. Or Beatrice, in Human Claim, managed to scare Kirie and forced her to tell that. Like, to Balor and all. Like, Balor might be getting tricked here again. That could be Beatrice's doing, in this case. So... yeah. Like, whatever the case may be, even if I'm wrong about all that, like, even if my theory about Balor's perspective is turning out wrong because of this, I am not gonna get discouraged. I accept your challenge, Yukishi. So, yeah. What's it gonna be?
どうしてバトラが怒ってるのかわかんないよ。
わかるだろ。みんな殺されたんだぞ。あのクソジジイに。ベアトリーチェ復活の儀式とかわけのわかんないことを言った。
ならこれで13人が生贄に捧げられて、もうベアトリーチェは蘇った頃だよ。
ああ、なら上等だ。ベアトリーチェもまとめて一緒にぶち殺してやろう。
マリアたちは儀式を生き残った。だからベアトリーチェに黄金鏡に招待してもらえるんだよ。そこでは願いは何でも叶う。家族を殺されたのが辛いなら生き返らせてもらえばいいのに。マリアはそうするつもりだよ。黒い魔女に取りつかれていない本当に優しい本当のママを蘇らせてもらうの。だからママはもうずっとマリアと一緒。お仕事とかで残業も休日出勤も何もないの。ずっとマリアと一緒にいてくれて、マリアのことだけを考えてくれてマリアのために恐ろしい敵といつも戦ってくれるの
お前どうかしてるぜ。なんでこの状況でそんなわけわかんねえことを言ってられるんだ。
If only you knew. If only you knew. Alright, well, might as well add something here in regards to the last fight, before I forget. I guess in retrospect, it certainly reminds me of the time Beatrice and Virgilia fought. And, well, he was doomed from the start, cause Virgilia died, like, right at the beginning without knowing. Beatrice really loves to have her enemies lose from the very beginning, doesn't she? I mean, this is not something you can easily predict by humans, or I would like to assume that even witches, like Beatrice, but it's like Beatrice and the demons know exactly how the fight would happen each time. Like, they can see into the future. Cause, you know, if it were me, like an alternative future, like an alternative timeline to what would have happened was, instead of Jessica hitting the last barrier with all her might and getting teleported to George, instead of doing that, I could have just told Jessica to just use all her strength to destroy the wall and escape, so that she wouldn't get crashed by the barrier and would not have to get teleported by Rinoue to George and get themselves killed. So Jessica would just punch through the wall and destroy it, and then escape for like a couple of minutes and resume the fight at some point. I guess if Jessica were to hit the barrier like much later, in that case, then it definitely would have resulted in the same outcome. Or maybe not. Maybe George would have defeated Gop like way before, like way earlier, and thus Jessica would have been able to continue the fight with Rinoue without both just George and Jessica getting themselves killed for that tactic. So it could have gone like different ways in that aspect if things were different, but no. Beatrice and the demons knew exactly, like at that exact same point, for both of them to kill each other in that moment of Jessica doing the punch and George ready to attack Gop in that state that he was in. So it makes me wonder if this has been the doing of Ben Castell as well. That with the help of Ben Castell, Beatrice is capable of seeing every single possibility imaginable. So, I mean, that could be one possibility, because from what I understood before about Ben Castell, she is the witch of miracles. She is the witch of fragments. And from what I understood, fragments are basically alternate timelines, like parallel timelines that exist, that with each single possibility, with every single change that can exist in one timeline, it creates another timeline, and those timelines are considered fragments. And Ben Castell can use those fragments to see every single possible future imaginable. I mean, that's why we discussed that whole thing with Angie and the possible fragment with Angie having a future, like a happy future and all that. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see about that.
バトラは今キリエおばさんに言われたはずだよ。魔女を信じろと言われたはずなのに。
くそ、こんなとこでマリアと口喧嘩してる場合じゃねえぜ。もう人質も何も誰も生き残っちゃいねえんだ。もうクソくだらねえ。おかしな儀式もゲームもおしまいだぜ。ここからは俺の好きにさせてもらう。まだ生きてる奴がいるかもしれない。あるいは隠れてる奴がいるかもしれない。片っ端から調べて見つけ出しぶちのめしてやるぜ。
In a rage, Better grabbed his handstand spear and flew out of the room. Alright, well, Beller is gonna go out there and see for himself what is happening. Although, if I'm to still believe in the magic toxin and all that, I guess thanks to Beatrice, chances could be very high at this point that Battler is gonna see magic, like right in front of him now, because of his lowered magic resistance, thanks to Kitty and Jessica. So, if that happens, the only thing that Battler can do is, well, confront Kinzo or Beatrice in Magic Claim. If it's still gonna be Human Claim though, then we have to find the culprit in that sense. Maria watched him go, looking bored.
ベアトリーチェがすぐに願いを叶えてくれるのに、バトラはバカ。
And then, the phone rang out again. Maria stood up and grabbed the receiver.
ああ、もしもし。ほう。
Of course, the sound of the phone also reached Balder's ears as he was about to dash out of the guest house. With violent forcefulness, he turned around and dashed into the cousins' rooms. Oh?
マリア、 電話って誰からだ
With a terrifying look on his face, Better yelled at Maria, who was on the phone. You couldn't blame him. Right now, the only humans left alive on the island were himself, Maria, Godan Kumasawa. But there was no way those two could call when they were locked up in the guarding storehouse. Which meant there was only one person. It had to be Kinzo. As she happily chatted with the person on the other end of the phone, Maria slowly turned to face Bella. And with an unsettling expression on her face, she laughed with a kihihihihihi. It felt almost as though the person on the other end of the line was chatting about Bella.
Maria, 電話の相手は誰だ?
Alright, Maria. Like, enough kihihis. Like, can you give the phone so that Bella can talk to Beatrice? Like, this is important.
じいさまか?
Bella couldn't imagine that this was the case. After all, it was inconceivable that Maria would be having such a friendly talk with Kinzo, chatting to him about Bella with that eerie smile on her face. Just one kind of person could be on a phone who could make Maria chat with a smile like that. At that time, in the back of his mind, the word Kiria had spoken to him drifted up. Even if a witch does appear, there is no need to doubt. Just believe in its existence.
マトラン、今帰ってきたよ。せっかちだよね。
マリア! その電話の相手は誰だ? 誰なんだ?
変わる? うん。はい、バトラ。
After getting the consent of the person on the other end, she held the receiver out to Bella.
はい。
Maria held the receiver out for him to take, as though it was perfectly normal. Bella felt just a little bit of hesitation towards taking the receiver, because by acknowledging the existence of the person at the other end, he would have no choice but to admit it. Kiria had said it. There is no longer any need to doubt their existence. Bella took the receiver. After he did so, Maria briskly headed for the door. Bella, who was slightly fearful about finding out for sure who was at the other end of the receiver, questioned Maria before taking the call.
おい! どこへ行くんだよ?
マリアのテストの場所だよ。後ろ宮家の当主はバトラかマリアかどっち？
いくら! 殺されるぞ!
殺されないよ。儀式はもう終わってるもの。それに殺されても蘇らせてもらえるし、当主になってもなれなくても、もう私たちは黄金鏡に招いてもらえる。じゃあね、お先に。
待てよ! マリア!
Maria, you're seriously tearing me apart, yo. You're seriously tearing me apart. Bella stretched his hand out to Maria's hand as she left. But the cord of the receiver that he was gripping held him back like a chain. He readied himself. Bella put the receiver to his ear.
もしもし。
Congratulations!
Hello there, Beatrice.
And I'm fine! Did you?
Screwed up. Mocking English filled his ears. Alright, Beatrice. You managed to make Beller believe in your existence again. You managed to lower his magic resistance. Nice job. It was the voice of a woman he didn't know. Who? The inside of his head was starting to freeze up. Who?
誰はないであろう、後ろ宮バトラー。返事は普通。Yes, I'm fine. であろう。懐かしいな。中国でやっただろ。
Must have done that one in. Wait, what?
二人一組になってやるやつ。
いかれてやがる。
Wait a minute. Yeah, from what I remember, Bella did used to do that like a long time ago. Like I remember a discussion with the cousins and Shannon. Like they had that kind of discussion at the beach about Bella acting cool and saying words in English like a long time ago. You probably know that well, Beatrice. You surely know that well, don't you?
てめえは誰だ。答えやがれ。
英語で言えよ。お前そういうの得意だったろ。
ふざけんじゃねえよ。てめえは誰だ。クソジジイの手先か。
手先とはひどい言いざまではないか。むしろ虜と言ってやる。金蔵わらわの虜だろ。
That last laugh didn't sound like it was aimed at Bella. It was almost as though Kenzo was right next to the phone, cackling as well.
名を名乗りやがれ。てめえは誰だ。何者だ。
当ててみろよ。ハワイへご招待するぜ。やっとだ。やっと。長かったぜ。本当に今日まで長い日々だった。マジで1000年は待ったぜ。今日という日をよ。おかげさまをもちましてわらは大復活。サンキュー金蔵。特別にさっきの待った聞いてやってもいいぜ。
やれやれ、上機嫌にも程があろうが、もう少しは淑女らしく振る舞わんか。
Kenzo and Beatrice sat facing each other over the chessboard on the reception table. Also, on the table were expensive cheeses. And I like to go with drinks. And there was a line of several empty wine bottles. As Beatrice rolled around in her sofa in an unseemly way, she held a wine glass in one hand, in a good mood, and probably completely 100% drunk.
今日は最高にご機嫌だから大サービスだ。おいおい銀座、こんな年代物の寄付ワインなんか飾ってんなよ。1947年ものかよ。今日開けなくていつ開けるつもりだ。それを浴びせっこして遊ぼうぜ。空き瓶で殴りっこもしよう。
ははは、それは愉快だ。浮かれすぎであるぞ。羽目の外しすぎだ。
金蔵だって。
Hey, guys. Focus here, focus. Battery's still on the phone here, you know.
わらわに再会できて嬉しいだろ。シャバだ、うつしおだ。わらわの肉体
さっきから何を騒いでるんだ。お前がベアトリーチェだとでも言うのかよ。
イエースおい金蔵の13人殺しの儀式のおかげでようやくわらわは復活したぞ。口があるといい、舌があるといい。こうしてそなたと話せることのなんと楽しいことか。そういえばお前とはあれだけ何度も憎まれ口を叩き合ってきたのに、こうしてゲーム中に盤上で会話をしたのは初めてだな。何やらとても新鮮だ。
The first time?
お、今のポンちゃんと聞こえたか。あいつ開けたぞ。マジでバカたっけえ秘蔵ワインを開けやがった。
Okay, so it's the battle. You gotta slow down there. Like, you're gonna have a huge headache tomorrow morning. Like, I hope to God that you didn't use cocaine as well here. I mean, Jesus.
10キロのインゴット丸々と同じくらいするんだぜ。
ふざけるな。何がベアトリーチェだ。黄金の魔女だと。いい加減にしろ。どこにいやがれ。そこにクソジジイも一緒にいるのか。てめえらまとめてぶっ飛ばしてやら。今どこにいやがるんだ。こさえや
な
れ。
んだ、わらわに会いたいのか。モテる女はつれえや。でもよ、金蔵がいるときに口説くのはよせよ。こいつマジで焼くから立ち悪いぜ。金蔵のいない二人っきりの時ならこっそり内緒で愛してやるからよ。
イカれてやがるぜ。
金蔵、気が変わった。マリアのテストにわらわは行かない。そなたが行け。
なんと気まぐれな。ではお前がバトラーをテストするというのか。
いいだろう。あいつさ、お前の若い時に似てるからさ、キュンときちゃうんだよ。安心しろよ。浮気なんかしないって。あいつと二人きりになるのは今だけ。わらわはいつだってお前と二人きりだろう。だがもうわらわを四六時中束縛するのは勘弁しろよ。
そういうわけだ、バトラー。そなたのテストはわらわ黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが自ら執り行ってやろう。場所はそうだ、この屋敷の正面玄関にて。バトラー、次期当主の国、マジで頑張ってくれよ。どうせ金蔵なんてすぐに寿命でぽっくりいっちまう。バトラーが次期当主になってくれりゃ、お前がこの島のすべての新しいあるじ。わらわを独り占めにさせてもいいんだ。金蔵がしたわらわを支配しておくれよ。
屋敷の玄関だな。上等だ。このクソったれな酔っ払いめ。俺がてめえの酔いを覚ましてやるぜ。迎え酒には俺の熱いパンチをくれてやる。首を洗って待ってやがら。
Battery impossibly slammed the receiver down. There was no need to talk through a receiver anymore. Alright, well, See you again, Batorice. Have a nice day. I'll meet her face to face and settle this. I took the spear I'd made by taking apart the headstand and went outside without even an umbrella. Okay, well, I guess so. Time to do the test ourselves and confront Beatrice. And well, like I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like the first suspect that I have in mind in regards to who the hidden culprit is, it might actually be Shannon, or her other name, which is Saya. Shannon could very well be Beatrice. Like, there are a couple of ideas that I thought of, and hints here and there that I have witnessed, which made me think of Shannon. For example, how Beatrice mentioned Battler's English, like during middle school here. That is, if it's Shannon. If not, then it could be someone else. I guess we shall see.